Okay, so my video got cut off because it was too long. So we did weeks 1 through 15. We're starting on week 16 for hand motion explanations for timeline. All right, so we start with Age of Industry. We're doing our kind of like cogs in a machine. And then we have James Cook, so we make a little J with our pinky. Sails, we do that sign for sailing again. To Australia, make an A here, and then Antarctica, an A down here. Then we have the American Revolution. We're making an R for revolution, and we're making a rifle. You kind of close your eye like you're doing the sights for that. And then we have General George Washington, like we're washing our hands. Madison's Constitution, it's that same kind of law sign that we did before. And the bill, turn that hand into a B, and we do a thumbs up. All right. The French, this is a sign for France. It's an F, and then you just kind of flourish it. It's fancy. And then for this revolution, we make our R, and we go across our hip. Those are drop people's heads off. All right. Then we have the second Great Awakening, and in the video we yawn. Oh, it does a yawning sound, so we just do that. The Louisiana, make an L, and then purchase. We are taking our money and buying something. And the Lewis and Clark Expedition. They are exploring, so we make that same sign. Okay, then we have an ASLN for Napoleon, crowned Emperor of France. We make that flourishy F again. Liberation, so we're in shackles, and then we are liberated. Of South America, it's the same sign we made before. We bring an S down for the South, sign for America. The War of 1812, you can just do war. If you want to put the 18 in there, oh yeah, it's an 8, but we start facing yourself and flip it around for 18. If you want to add the 12, I don't think you have time for that. Okay, then we have the Missouri Compromise. This is a sign for a compromise, like we're gonna compromise on that. So that's that. And then this is a sign for immigrants. In ASL, you're just kind of bringing people under the bridge, something like that. Flock to America. But this is an ASL sign because it's like a big melting pot of all the peoples from everywhere. So that's why that's that sign. And then we have the Monroe Doctrine. This is the sign for doctrine. You're just making a D with both hands and bringing it forward. The Romantic period of the arts is much about drama and feelings. So we do, okay. And then we have Cherokee Trail of Tears. Sorry, wrong way. So we put our feather in our hair again like we did early Native Americans, but then we bring a tear down our face. U.S. westward expansion. That's all sorry. We always put our hand over our heart for U.S. U.S. westward expansion. Then we take that W, bring it down over your thumb, and make the M for Marx publishes the Communist Manifesto. You can write it. You can do the communist sign, that like C. Some people do like that for communism. Then we have, again, the Compromise, but we're going to add an 18 to this one of 1850. And the Dred Scott, we do our hands because it was a case about a slave, Dred Scott. And then this is a sign for decision. So you bring it from your forehead and just kind of flap it down on your hand. The harder you do it, the better. The kids like that. U.S., again, our hands on our heart, restores trade. We did the sign before. With Japan, make that sign for Japan again. British Queen, we put our crown on. Victoria, V for Victoria's rule, just like with the Mongols' rule over India, we make our bindi dot. And then Darwin, we do a D. Take that same finger and pretend like you're writing for publishes. And then we have the origin of species. This is the sign for species. It's like grouping things together in their kinds. Lincoln's War between the states. We just make a top hat for Lincoln, and then we do the sign for war between the states, and then reconstruction. We're rebuilding the southern states. So we just take that S and bring it down for the south. Dominion, this is the sign for Dominion. And then Canada, you kind of take your hand like this and tug at your collar. It's a sign for like a big heavy coat. So that's Canada. Sorry, I lost my place here. There we go. Otto von Bismarck unifies. This is a sign for like unity. And then this is Germany. Okay. Boer wars. So I make a B. We make our sign for wars. In Africa, that same sign for Africa. Then we have the Spanish. We put those hooks back on our shoulders. American war. You can try and get the sign for war in there again. I think it goes too fast. Then we have the progressive error. So we're like progressively moving forward. Okay, Australia becomes a Commonwealth. This is probably one of my favorite signs. This is a sign for kangaroo. Like this. So it's just so cute. Okay, Australia becomes a Commonwealth. Then we have a Mexican Revolution. We make our R's for revolution. And we're going to make a fancy mustache for Mexican Revolution. We have WW1 for World War I. And President Wilson. And we make, in our president song, Wilson, we do like, oh, he's wilting. So we just do that and go, Wilson. So that we remember that those go together. Lenin and the Bolshevik Revolution. This is the only time that we're making the actual ASL sign for revolution. Because, yeah. In Russia, we do our kind of that hands on your hips again. U.S., hand over our heart again. Evangelist. So this is like words, right? He's preaching. Evangelist. Billy Graham, B&G. The modern period of the arts. We're going to take both hands and we're going to kind of like stir this pot because modern art is very like that. That's the ASL sign for it. Okay, and then we have the Great Depression. We kind of make this like, oh, we're so depressed. And the New Deal, we come back up with our thumbs up. World War II and President Franklin. We got an F. D. Roosevelt. That goes fast, even though it's a long name, so put it in if you can. Then we have Stalin. He's got that mustache of the USSR. And the Katyn Massacre. This is the sign for like graves. So the Katyn Massacre was obviously a lot of graves. Okay, the United Nations Forum. We're just doing that sign for unity. The Cold War. Oh, we're so cold. You could do it like this, like, oh, I'm so cold. And then war. Because we actually do this for Antarctic. This is the ASL sign for cold. So if you want to do the same sign for both, or do this one and then do this for Antarctica. I don't know. Sorry. Gandhi, we make a G. India, we touch our bindi dot again. And independence, we always do like this, like we're breaking free. For Jewish state, we make the little, the ringlet curls that they wear. And then established, same sign as before. Mao and communists, we make this little C thing, the communist sign, and then we say victory in China. North, an N for north, and then we just kind of do water for Atlantic. Treaty, big T, and then this is a sign for organization. So it's just kind of like you're making an O and wrap it around. Again, however much of these signs you want to do, or none. Do what you want to do. The Korean War, we have a K and war. And we do M for Martin, L for Luther, K for King Jr. And then this is the ASL sign for Civil Rights Movement. So it just kind of goes in like that. Then we have a J for Jim, E for Elizabeth, and Elliot. And then they're missionaries to Ecuador. I think I do this again, like for the evangelist. It's the same thing as like spreading the gospel for that. And then, like I said, the Antarctic Treaty, or you could do the Antarctic Treaty, something about being cold, and the Vietnam war, Vienna war sign. And then this is the kids' favorite, U.S. astronauts walk on the moon. We just do like a floaty walk, like we're walking on the moon. And we've made it to age of information. We make like a computer, and globalization. We make a big globe. So we have Watergate. This is, you can do it with 3 fingers to remember Watergate, or just do the 2 fingers. This is the sign for like spying or something like that. So that's the actual sign for Watergate. Or you could do the sign for water, which is like drinking water. And then we have President Nixon. I just make a big X for Nixon and bring it down for resigns. Fall of communism. We make that same little communist sign and bring it down. Apartheid. So why I do this is, so apartheid means that like whites and blacks were separate, right? So I do like this, and then when it say abolished, I bring them together. So apartheid abolished, and then you can make the South, and then same sign for Africa. For September 11, it kind of goes slow, so I do September 11. It kind of stands for the 2 ones, but also obviously for the 2 towers. And then when we say 2001, we just let them fall. And then our hands are down and we say rising tide of freedom and bring them up in kind of like fists like that.